Oh my God. Did you watch the last episode of The Traitors?
No.
The what?
The Traitors?
No, I don't even know what it is.
That was good.
I don't even know what it is. The Traitors.
Yeah, that stupid show on Channel 10.
Oh, no. No, I don't. I basically don't know anything that's on free-to-air.
Basically, the concept is it's like the game Wolf, where like someone's a wolf and the wolf murders people, right? But they have, at the start of the thing, they have 3 traitors and the rest are called faithfuls. So only the traitors know that they're traitors. They know who each other are. And then basically the faithful people have to work out who the traitors are. And then every night the traitors banish or / murder someone. And so in the morning they get up and they're like, who's gone? Oh, someone. Anyway, got all these faithfuls were so dumb they could not figure out who the traitors were. One of them, the 3 traitors, 2 of them got rid of one of their own, got rid of one. So there was only 2 of them. Got all the way to the end and there's them standing and there's 3 other people. So they decide to recruit one of them to be a traitor, right? So they recruit this lady, Camille, and there's 2 of them. There's this skeezy guy whose name was Sam and this other friendly, happy-go-lucky guy called Blake, who no one thought was a traitor. They thought he was just a nice guy. Anyway, they get to the end. The traitors have made it. They've all made it. They had 1 faithful left. They get eliminated because there's traitors there. So now they've got a traitor's dilemma, and the prize is $280,000, right? So the dilemma is you can share the money. If you all say share, you get it. If one of you says steal, you get the whole lot. The other 2 don't get any. If 2 of you say steal, you split the pot and the other person doesn't get anything. If you all say steal, no one gets anything. And so these 2 dudes who had been traitors from day dot were like, one of them was like, the skeezy guy was like, I'm going to steal the lot. I don't give a fuck. The Blake happy-go-lucky guy was like, I need to walk out of here with money. So I'm going to share. But he also knew that this skeezy guy was going to steal it. So he's like, I'm going to fucking steal it because at least we can split it in 2. But Camille, we recruited her. She'll share it. She's a sharer. Camille fucking stole it. And so none of them got anything at the end. It was like the best finale of a shit reality show ever.
Oh, that might be the pre-roll. He's great. Still doing work. You better have some good notes.
You better have the tally for the best of the best.
Everything must be done.
Welcome to... Oh, you okay? You're ready to go, Ben?
No, he's still doing work.
Just keep it professional, Dan.
Thanks. Welcome to Here We Crow. We just had to interrupt Ben doing some work notes to start the show. It is episode 71 of Here We Crow, if you don't mind. Sam, hello.
Hello, Daniel.
Hi, Lauren.
Hey, Dan.
And Ben, the man of the hour.
Hey, Dan.
How's it going? Do you have some 71 stats for us to kick off?
Yeah, no, all prepped, ready to go. So... so 71 proved to be a bit of an elusive number, so we'll see how we go. But our debutant at number 71 was Troy Bond.
You're waiting for something big Bondy.
Yeah. My mum used to, this is really weird, but my mum used to call him Troy Sexual Bond, and I have no idea why.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, Dan.
Get on the phone. We need to get her on the phone now.
She won't pick up.
So anyway, so for him, his big 71 stat is for Adelaide, he had 71 tackles in his career.
And now he is suing the AFL for the $71.
Yeah. That's right. Well, speaking of dollars, we got a few quick player stats. Brad
segue.
Moran,
Oh,
71 marks.
Now he has $71 million.
Yep, but upstaging him is Trent Henschel, who took 71 contested marks.
Potential.
Man.
Trent
There
potential.
you go. And then Matthew Bode kicked 71 goals.
Matthew Bode.
Crusty
Phone
Bode.
stealer.
Yep.
Yeah.
And upstaging him was David McKay with 71 points.
Oh, 14.
D-Mac. Our favourite.
And that's
Much
your
maligned.
71s for the week.
Thanks, Ben. That was well worth waiting for.
Matthew Bode accidentally stole my phone once.
Really?
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Yeah, I was working at that Next Bite, the Apple shop before Apple shop was around, and the new iPhones had just come out, and I had one. Lucky me. And he came in with his new iPhone also, and he accidentally left his and took mine with him.
Oh.
Oops. Anyway,
Had
to call my own phone to contact Matthew Bode to bring it back.
Wow.
He was our runner for a long time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Not anymore, though. I haven't seen him recently.
Haven't you? Oh.
But we got plenty to talk about as usual. The Crows girls are back on the winners list again. 2 in a row. Beat the Tigers by 29 points. The champion Chelsea Randall's 50th game, if you don't mind. We were very happy with that one on Friday night. But there was some really devastating news hot off the press towards the end of last week. And I'm sure a lot of people have been on the socials and seen that one co-host, Lauren, has been dealt a savage blow.
Yeah.
I feel like she was actually depressed.
Actually depressed.
People at my work were worried because I was basically crying.
She actually didn't go to work the next day. And if you did miss it, for those listening, I'm sure you haven't, but Shane McAdam has nominated to leave the Crows. He hasn't quit,
Hasn't he?
Some would put it, but we'll get to that later. But yes, plenty going around, plenty of rumours as usual. But the good news is obviously the AFLW team. So let's get into the pre-game warm-up.
Music.
Cool drinks.
We have changed it up. And what do we got here, Sam?
Well, we followed the crowd. We've gone for the drink that all of the young kids love, Hard Solo, alcoholic lemonade. Yeah, look, I knew this would be average. And
Surely more of an alcoholic lemon squash.
yeah,
It does not even taste alcoholic.
no, it doesn't at all.
I don't know. It's taken me back to my youth. It tastes like Smirnoff Ice.
Wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Really?
It's pretty shit.
It's fine.
Well, like it. Yeah.
It's not as tart as Smirnoff Ice, but
Did I call it a lemonade? Oh, sorry.
Pub
I wondered
squash.
why you corrected me, and now I'm like thinking back. Yeah, look, it's fine, really. I guess it's only 4.5%. They're pretty expensive. They're like $25 or something.
yeah, save
For a
your money.
4-pack.
Just get a bottle of vodka and
Yeah,
a 24-pack of Solo cans.
yeah. Well, that's what I question is why you would buy this, but I guess it's convenient.
Branding.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to get too excited about it.
Speaking of things,
Really warming it up in here, are we?
let's get some excited about some music. Lauren, what have you got tonight?
I've got a grieving song.
Oh. Looks like it's up to me to bring the mood back up then.
I'm just going to play it.
Oh, God.
I don't think anything needs to be said.
Ben's gone back to doing work.
Well,
I thought Ben was having a nap there for a minute.
That takes a long time to get to the chorus.
It is
doesn't
soothing, but
there's not a dry eye in the studio.
Is that like 1990 or 91?
yeah,
Hmm.
really does
hello.
seem like it's the end of the road.
So there's a big cavity where Shane McAdam once stood. And Lauren, who's going to fill that cavity now at the Crows? Who's next in the? Is it Daddy?
Pedler was always already
Pedler.
taking over.
Look, I've got a few options. I just have to wait till next season to see who catches my eye, really. But yeah, Daddy's hitting number one now.
And see, Daddy's always a bit vulnerable because he's one bad season away from getting the axe. So.
Yeah, look, I don't know what to say. I think we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we will.
Anyway, that was Boys to Men.
Well, I'm going to bring it back up, and I've got a punk band out of Melbourne. They're called Clowns, and rather than drink this hard solo, I'd rather have some formaldehyde. This song's called.
Ben's awake now.
Oh yeah, clowns out of Melbourne. They stitched me up last week. I heard they were touring, so bought a ticket for me and one of my mates, and the next day they cancelled the tour.
Oops.
Yeah, so it's postponed till next March, but luckily I'm free when they're coming back.
Lucky.
Keep the same ticket. All good. That's the pre-game warm-up.
Adelaide's rocking.
I can't tell if Ben's really here tonight.
He's doing work.
Yeah. Welcome back, Ben. We're here to talk about the win that was for our women's team. It's great to have the women's team back after what was a letdown of the end of the season for the men's team. We're back in winning form, beating the Tigers, as we mentioned at the top of the show, by 29 points in Chelsea Randall's 50th game. Our fantastic captain. It was great to honour her in that way. I was a little bit nervous playing the Tigers in Melbourne, but as it turned out, they kicked 2 goals in the first quarter and then nothing after that. So we really, took them to the cleaners. I think the defence held up pretty well without Sarah Allen. And
super tough conditions, though. It was really a scrappy game of footy.
Very dewy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think we probably called that it was going to be a bit scrappy. It sort of. I don't know. It was obviously at that weird time, 4:00 on a Friday afternoon. It certainly surprised me. It was quite nice actually. I was at home and came around to 4:00. And sweet, some footy to watch. That's great.
I got forced to go to the Adelaide show, which I didn't really want to, and I missed the game, so I had to watch the KO Mini.
So you're fully caught up.
You could have watched the whole game.
Yeah,
It's not that long.
But changing the subject. We really didn't know anything about it because Ben wasn't here last week with the real stats.
No, well that's right.
What do you mean? I threw them all out there. Our last head-to-head.
Did you
kidding me? Yeah. Did you even listen back to the podcast?
But it felt like we sort of like we didn't start. It was scrappy to start with, and then I think, like I said to Ben earlier today, it didn't sort of ever look like we were really gonna lose. Once we got on top, it was all pretty well one way. Even when we weren't scoring, it was still always up our end. There were some really good performances. I think last week I said we need to utilise Gould a lot more. Her marking ability is excellent, and she certainly showed that this week.
Yeah,
kicking 3 goals.
Good replacement for Judas Saint.
Yeah, that's right. It would be remiss of us to not mention the Ponta goal here as well, which was obviously a huge highlight for the week and probably the whole women's season.
Whose idea was it to put her in the midfield? Because she should stay there. That was a massive clearance.
I think it was. I think it was a good idea. It was sort of that like get them into the game type move. I'd say, because I don't know, she tends to drift in and out of games a bit. So it was kind of nice to just get her in there, and then she obviously showed her worth. She's one of the few like highly skillful players in our team.
And I do have a exit song request for Ponta this week.
Oh, do you? All
right. Ben's here.
Hey, Ben.
Let me know about that later, Ben.
Will do.
Is that's going to win goal of the year, surely, kicking a goal from the middle.
Hard to beat.
Watching, I think I saw a tweet about it, watching the men's, watching that Port game, and Port couldn't kick a goal to save themselves, and Ponta is kicking them from the centre. So, yeah, no, it was a good game. There wasn't a lot, other than that goal, there wasn't a huge amount of standouts, I didn't think. I think it was a really grindy game. In a lot of ways, it was pretty boring to watch, to be honest.
I think our transition improved as the game went on. I think what's showing up this season is our fitness seems to be up there compared to the 2 teams we've played so far. So I think last year with the short pre-seasons and whatnot, we were looking pretty tired in that second season for the year. Yeah. Whereas now we've had a bit of time to recover, and so far we're looking really good. We haven't come across the really elite teams like a Brisbane or Melbourne who can really run out a game yet, but so far the signs are good that we're switched on and can go the full 4 quarters.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything more to add, Ben?
Oh, I've got my stats.
Got some stats?
Yeah, yep. So we were pretty dominant. We had a lot more of the ball, 258 to 185, which was a lot of it was mainly uncontested ball. So we doubled their uncontested 140 to 72. So that was good. And while we had a lot more of it, we were a lot more efficient. So we were 67% to their 52%. So that's pretty impressive. We kicked 1 more goal from the centre circle than they did.
I like that.
Very good. I was looking for a bigger response, but that's fine. clearances
We're a bit flat tonight, aren't we? I think we need to wake up.
Yeah.
Quality start.
Yeah, I'm copping it all, but geez, where are you guys? Clearances were pretty equal, so that side of things we didn't really dominate. But like with our efficiency, our marks, we over doubled them 42-19. So we really controlled the ball a lot better than they did, and that's what showed up on the scoreboard at the end.
What do we think about the umpiring?
Oh,
And then what do we think about the
Shocking.
commentary? It was all just, it's such a, they pretend like they care about the AFLW, and then we cop a broadcast like that with that sort of umpiring, and you just sort of go, do they? Do they really care?
I think
I don't
round
know.
one showed they didn't care when they played it at the parade.
Yeah, that's
Look,
right.
I'll say this. All for people getting into umpiring. We obviously need more umpires, but you cannot run a professional league or call it a professional league and have second, third tier umpires who don't know what they're doing yet. That's what it seems like.
Like I said to Ben earlier, though, I almost challenged the thought or like the comment of the second or third tier umpires, because you watch the SANFL and the umpires are fine, and they're second or third tier. So why does the women's ones feel so shit?
And the speed of the
I don't
game is a bit slower as well, so it should be easier to make the correct decision.
They definitely have. There's definitely a different mentality with the umpiring than there is to the men's, and I think that does take a little bit of getting used to. They let a lot more stuff slide.
Yeah.
There's a lot of free kicks that could be paid that aren't, especially incorrect disposal free kicks that, dropping the ball happens all the time and is not paid in the AFLW.
It's a lottery, the holding the ball.
It is.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but
What's even worse is that the AFLW posted a really great tackle by Hatchie, took down the player, definitely had time to get rid of the ball, and it wasn't even called holding the ball. Like, you're posting a highlight that is a perfect tackle, perfect holding the ball. Did it get called that? No, it did not.
no. It sort of summed it up for me pre-game when the male commentator, I actually don't remember who it was, said he almost apologised for saying that he thought the Crows would win the game. It's sort of like, it's a good start, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, wowee. The commentators are getting the ends of the grounds wrong, like which side was kicking which way. I noticed that multiple times. It's just not good.
It is pretty tough to watch at home, isn't it?
It is. It really is. Also, the other thing I didn't like is supposedly they think it's a very a cool thing to do, but the mid-game interviews with players.
Oh, the worst. Let them have a breather.
Right, just get rid of that. That is just complete nothing. Players don't say anything when they're after games when they're fine, let alone when they've just come off and they can hardly breathe. Who cares?
Yeah.
It is very pointless.
It is very pointless.
I find that sort of thing almost goes to the certain point where it degrades from the actual game. It makes it feel like it's not an actually important competition because you can just chat to them when they come off the ground.
Yeah.
Makes it feel like the game's a bit Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, as a female, I don't want to be on camera sweating and my hair messy and disgusting when I'm in the middle of a game. On that point of it, no, don't do that. It's kind of mean, isn't it?
Loose segue, one of the players they spoke to was Tia Charlton. She's becoming a really important player for the team.
Tia is pretty much, I reckon, the most ripped player we've got on the Crows. Every photo I see of Tia, she's just her muscles are poof.
Yeah, right.
She's really working hard in the gym, clearly, and she's becoming a really hot player for us. Having said that, Madison Newman, cousin of the pod, 19 disposals equal with Hatchie this week. Very good.
Yeah, I didn't sneak her into my votes, but she was great, and she does look like she's taken it to another level this year. She looks a lot more composed. She's become one of those players that looks that step above. Just like the run-of-the-mill players that are scattered throughout the team.
She's done some really good run-on from the contest, elite kicking inside the forward 50.
She's
carried
kick.
some of those plays big time, Maddie, so that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good segue into the vote, Sam. So what you got?
I gave 3 to Marinoff. I don't think it'd be hard not to give her 3 votes this week. Not only did she have a ton of the ball, but she had 14 tackles or something, which was pretty insane. I gave 2 to Gould. 3 goals. She just stands tall, takes marks. She's become a really important player for the team if she wasn't already. And I gave 1 vote to Tia Charlton. I really liked her game. I think she just provides that little bit of. She's sort of classy, but she's also like bull at a gate too, which I love. So yeah,
Nice. Ben?
Yep, so I've gone Marinoff and Gould, same as Sam, and one for Hatchard, 19 possessions, but 9 tackles and 5 marks.
And Lauren?
Pretty good. I've gone Noffy for the 3 as well. Along with her 14 tackles, she had 486 metres gain, which was double anyone else.
And went at 82% efficiency.
And that also, Ben, thank you. I gave 2 to Neve Kelly. Thought she, again, was electric. She just looks so good. Like when she's running, like her, I don't know, she just looks like she's on fire at all times.
she got taken out early, which was a bit worrying, and then
She did,
suddenly
yeah.
came back. So I think she missed most of the first quarter, didn't she?
Copped one
off
under the
field?
rib there, which
Yeah.
Looked a bit nasty, but she
Someone
did come back
sniped
out.
her off the bench.
She
What a
can-
bitch.
Yeah.
She can certainly she'd be at the best in our team in terms of breaking lines, like getting past players and
Yeah.
really creating
Her-
play.
Yeah, and her ball use is really good too.
What's her story? Did you like? Because she's like a reasonably recent addition to the team, isn't she?
Didn't she come from West Coast and she's an Irish player initially?
Oh, she came from West Coast. Okay,
I
interesting.
think it was West Coast.
Yeah,
It was.
I'm just
Amber Ward came from West Coast as well, so I can't remember if we got both of them at the same time.
I think it was the same time, yeah.
yeah.
And my one goes to Dani-Hell Ponta purely for that epic goal.
Yes.
Can't ignore it.
Doesn't go in your quiet achiever, kicking it from the centre.
No, not quite enough there, Ben.
Yeah.
Just a little bit too loud.
I have a bit of a mixture of everyone's votes. I got 3 votes for Marinoff, 2 for Gould with her 3 goals, and 1 for Dani-Hell Ponta.
Soldier on, soldier on, soldier on.
Who you got for the Soldiers On Sarah Allen Award? Sam?
Why'd you say it that way round?
I don't know.
I gave it to Prowse. Liked her game just as a quieter side of the game, I think. There was plenty of players I could have given a 4th vote to, but I decided to go for the true meaning of the Sarah Allen Soldiers On Award.
And Lauren?
I also went with Zoe Prowse because it was me who commented in the chat while the game was on that
Oh, was
Prowse
it?
is working very hard.
Yeah.
Stats don't really tell the tale for Zoe's game. I thought she was just really hard at almost every contest. She was in amongst it, and yeah, she was really good.
On the quiet side of the game, I really quite liked Goodwin's game as well, but also noticed that she had -1 metres gained.
Yeah, I saw that. Also, just quite other person I thought was pretty good and worked really hard was friend of the pod, Jess Waterhouse.
Yeah.
She was really running hard and really trying to get in there and create opportunities near the goal. So that was great.
Yeah, I thought her and Ballard did quite well in terms of that pressure and tackling game as a
Yep.
forward.
Nice. And Ben, who'd you have?
But obviously it was Prowse for me.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was obviously showing different highlights from the part
The
that I
old
watched.
KO
but-
Mini gave you a different response.
I
You
actually,
get a good idea who was the
Yeah.
quiet achiever from the KO Mini.
I went with Tia Charlton.
I reckon
clearly
Dan might
wasn't
be the quiet achiever this
quite
week.
as But no, well done, girls. Great to see another win, and hopefully we get up against the Bombers this week, which we'll get into a bit later.
If you want to know what's in the spring, get into Rowan Jarman.
We brought this comedian up to Lauren last week. I don't know if you did you have a look at anything Sam Campbell's done? You said you'd never heard
Oh,
of him.
no,
when we
I
brought him
didn't.
up.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. The only reason I'm bringing it up today is there was a Reddit thread today about Australia's worst comedian, and then someone did one for Australia's best comedian, and it was good. It was good. It was good reading. But I put in there Sam Campbell and had some hilarious links to watch some stuff. Have you guys watched any of his stuff? No. Anyone that likes comedy, likes a bit of offbeat comedy, I highly recommend you go and give his BBC. Maybe BBC. No, Channel 4 special a go on YouTube. It's very good.
Who was the worst comedian?
Oh, that was your usual ones. I bet it was actually probably friend of the pod who got the most, copped it the most.
Oh, not
Dave
Hughesy.
Hughes. Yeah, he copped it a lot.
Oh, sorry, Hughesy. I actually sent Hughesy a text on the weekend
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, Carlton.
celebrating baggers. He didn't reply to me.
No.
Come on, Hughesy. I told him if Carlton win the flag, he doesn't have to come on the podcast next season.
He was good on here, but I don't generally like his stuff. No, there was some terrible names in there.
Oh, no, he's definitely not coming back, Sam.
But the best thing I reckon happened this week, did anyone see that American sprinter who came out and was having a crack at the Americans, calling everything world champion in their local domestic leagues? Is sort of someone mentioned, like, because obviously he's a sprinter, so it's all like all the world's like the best sprinter in the world is the world champion, and he was just like, the NBA, like, world champions of what? Like America? It's like there's no flags in the NBA. Was another comment that he made. Anyway, I thought it was really good.
Footwear sacrificed at half price and equipment slashed to half price. Rowan Jarman's huge half price sale. Don't miss it.
Since when did so good become a thing in Sweet Caroline? Has that always been a thing, or and I've just noticed it?
What?
I thought you were talking about the soy milk.
No, you know Sweet Caroline, the song.
Yeah.
You know how, like, and after they say he's like good, and then all the crowd sings so good, so good, so good.
So good.
Yeah. Is this a thing?
I don't know.
Yes, I've heard of it.
Because well,
I never got Sweet Caroline, to be honest.
when I had to go and do a gig at in Renmark, and Thirsty Merc played.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Uh,
hope you got paid well.
Yeah, but the guy beforehand who was just singing covers did Sweet Caroline, and all the crowd was singing so good, so good, so good. I'd never heard anyone do it before, and now there's an ad. I think it might be Jim Beam or something, and they sing it on there too. No, no one knows this.
No.
No.
Oh well, if anyone in
I see why it's in your bads though.
Yeah, it's no good. No good.
No good.
Yeah.
No good.
Bet Nation paying recovered gambling addict Brendan Favola to advertise them on social
That's
media.
gross, isn't it?
Yeah. Not only that, he's advertising it as like good value when it's a shit multi that should be paying easily like 35 to 1, 16 to 1, and he's calling it value.
Ugh.
The guy that lost pretty much his entire life savings.
And the same week that he's come out with the sob stories of losing all his money and then showing up on an ad.
That's so
Well, now
poor.
he's got to make it back, so he's just going to take whoever pays him, right?
That's just like rock bottom.
and his tips were terrible. He got 1 from 4.
Oh,
Oh, no.
one. How? I got 4, and I'm not
he
even
tipped
good.
Port to beat Brisbane. He tipped GWS to lose to Saints, and
He tipped Melbourne.
he tipped Melbourne to beat
Dumbass.
Collingwood. So the only one he got right was the Carlton beating Sydney, and that
Yeah.
was pretty close.
Yeah. So his value was 1 from 4.
Oh, it was good value for Bet Nation.
Yeah, it was very good value for Bet
That's
Nation.
the point.
Yeah. Channel 7, the quality of broadcasting in this country is absolutely garbage. Did anyone notice Channel 7's new thing that they were doing during the games where they would take like a big mark or a kick or a good goal or something and they'd just zoom in slightly on it? Did anyone notice that? You watched all the games, Ben. You didn't notice this?
No.
Oh, for God's sake.
I'm trying to think about it. Did I notice that?
So like they would take like a mark, and like sometimes in previous years they've done it where they've done like lots of cameras, so they do that little shitty like curve, so you see it from a different angle.
Yeah.
But this one was literally just slightly zoomed in.
Interesting.
It was terrible.
All right.
Anyway,
I'll
guys.
look out for that this weekend.
well
no
done.
doubt.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks for backing me up there, mate.
I can't believe the country road double up wasn't in your goods, to be
Oh, yeah,
honest.
that was
Charlie
good.
Cameron.
The crowd was still singing it when he
Yeah,
kicked another one.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that
Such
was
a good
good.
watch.
That is good.
But the worst thing was the
Oh.
hand in the Carlton Melbourne. Was it no Collingwood's Melbourne
at
game?
the coin toss, yeah.
Yeah,
The hand?
the Coles hand. Did you see that?
No?
In the centre of the ground when they did the coin toss, there was some muppet in a Coles hand
So
thing.
the,
Not
the,
the down,
the
down.
Coles mascot dancing around for his
Oh
down,
my
down, down.
God. Why? Why are they doing this?
It's one of the grimmest things I've ever seen.
Is that the down?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty weird when I got an email this week from the AFL being like, win grand final tickets, and I opened it. It was literally a Coles ad.
Well, and I think all the people tossing the coins are Coles employees as well. Like they've taken over.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, Coles has got too much money.
I'm surprised the Port banner wasn't in your bads. That was
What was
terrible.
that?
Just something about like beat Brisbane and we'll be one game closest to the end.
It was
of the
just
year.
very factual, yeah.
It's very factual.
Look, they are basic bitches.
Yeah. What
I
about
mean,
the
they always state the obvious, don't they? Like, we are Port Adelaide. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're actually Port Power, but
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, that's right.
That's
Not
it.
so
That's all
obvious.
I got.
Wow. What a week.
Dog act, go.
Had to find it.
Dog Act. If it wasn't already bad enough that Shane McAdam was leaving the Crows, the worst part of it was that it got announced by Michelangelo Rucci, who just loves to hate the Crows. I don't know who leaks information to him. It gives me the absolute shits, though. And, of course, instead of just saying, like everyone else has reported, that McAdam was requesting a trade to a Melbourne club, he used the language, McAdam quits the club. So, of course, it was sensationally reported not long after that. And I don't know, everyone just felt a bit sick reading.
Obviously, I was sensationally upset by this news to the point where, you know, I had Loz from Rudits and Loz messaging me like, are you okay? I need to find out more info. And I was like, give her a call, Loz. Give him a call. Because I need to clear this up. I need to find out what's going on.
It sounds like he's just had a massive sook to me.
Well, it does sound like that.
That's what he's made it out to sound like. There's a bit of talk about what the length of the contract was.
We offered 2. Melbourne thought, oh, well, if we offer 3, we'll get him. Then we've counted with 3, but maybe he still wants to go.
Something like that.
He's acting like he's annoyed. And I think the club are annoyed with him from what they released as well. The thing that they put out in the press release that they put out was really short.
Well, there was that rumour that he wasn't happy with the fitness coach as well, or fitness regime or whatever.
Because we played him in the SANFL for a few weeks.
I don't know. I wonder if that's something to do with him going up to Falls Creek in the break. Because this year was actually like the first year he's really come back like properly kind of fit, whereas the last few years he hasn't really come back fit because he's been up in Halls Creek. And this year was the first year that they've given him like a proper modified program to do up there. So pure speculation. This is not any news, but I thought perhaps they have requested that he do not spend quite as long in Halls Creek, and that's what pissed him off.
Yeah, I think also Melbourne just made him feel more wanted. Like, we obviously offered a contract, but it sounds like they sold him the dream of, you know, you're a key part of our forward line going for a premiership, whereas maybe he didn't quite feel that coming from the Crows.
I feel like Melbourne, if they don't get it done this year, which doesn't look like they will, they'll start to slide anyway. I don't think, you know, they haven't done anything since that premiership they won. But
it's a real shame because in this circumstance, like the Crows can't do anything right here. Like he got suspended. We obviously tried to fight it. It didn't work. Like we have supported him as much as we can in that scenario. And then obviously, you know, he did have to kind of come back through the SANFL because he'd had time off and it was hard to crack into the team. They weren't going to drop anyone at that point. Obviously, he injured himself in that time, which was a big bummer. Like it's been a really tough year for him, but I don't know if like the Crows are solely to blame for that.
And also, the 3-year contract takes him to 31. Like we typically sign players to 1-year contracts from 30. So, you know, that's probably what we aim to do with him, get him to 30 and then go 1 year from there. But
yeah.
That's why I can't.
Which seems fair enough.
I don't blame the Crows for only offering 2 years.
No.
And I don't blame him for wanting to look elsewhere when they've offered the 3 that he wanted too late. Like it is a shitty thing. It is what it is.
Will we get anything for him though?
Probably not.
No.
You'd think that they'd do a player for player trade, if anything.
Well, we'll see. But the Dog Act's actually Michelangelo Rucci, which we've gone away from a little bit.
He's he is like the biggest worm in real life. One time he came into the pub with Chris McDermott, and I think I've told this story before, but I gave Chris McDermott the big "we're not worthy," like, you know, so glad you're here. And Michelangelo Rucci looked like a homeless person.
Yeah.
He was wearing the oldest clothes, oldest sneakers, and he just slithered away like the worm he is to the table because he couldn't handle that I didn't give a shit about him. Anyway,
And
go
fair
for
enough.
it, Dan.
If someone leaves the club, did they really quit the club or are you a media grub? Dog Act.
Rhyming club with club there, Dan.
Yes.
Some legendary
Lazy.
songwriting tricks.
Yeah. Hey, whatever is catchy.
You are the expert.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, so should we discuss it anymore? Like, are we expecting to get anything from McAdam? Like, can this benefit us in any way?
Well, there's been talk of a 3-way trade where Port gets Grundy, we get Dersma.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Melbourne gets McAdam. So
Watching Dersmer on the weekend, I feel like we've already got 3 players that are like him.
He
I mean, the only
he didn't
good-
look great against Brisbane, did he?
No.
The
Particularly
only
when he
good
got
thing-
that run down from a
yeah,
ruckman, was it? Or?
the one good thing Dersmer did is when Port were hot, like, you know, really coasting towards maybe making a grand final, and he literally dropped the Premiership Cup that time. Like that.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that was good for everyone.
It
who's
was.
not a Port supporter.
Yeah,
And if it
absolutely.
comes to the Crows, does he then have to do ironic bow and arrows against himself from when he was at Port Adelaide?
Well, I imagine him and Rochelle would do them at each other.
Yeah.
Like Cupids.
Yeah. But I can't see that. I can't see him coming to the Crows.
No, I can't see Port wanting to get rid of him anyway.
Well, he's a bit fringe these days.
Yeah.
He's still, surely he has the potential.
Yeah. I don't know. He didn't look great on, like Ben said, he didn't look great on
He's
Saturday
definitely
night.
shot for confidence. Like, he hasn't progressed as much as Butters and Rosie.
He's
Do we
got
do
some
that thing
skills.
where we bring out the greatness like we have with Hinge and Keys?
Maybe. He's got
We
some
need some more-
skills. He's got something you can work with 100%. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He doesn't, like, he missed a lot of targets on Saturday night, and we've got plenty of players that are good at that.
Do we need some more fringe Brisbane players? Because that's worked out pretty well for us.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Did you see Stevens got dropped for Sydney on the weekend?
Yeah,
So,
he's rumoured to be going to a few different teams. so-
yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if he goes back to Melbourne. There'd probably been a few clubs tracking him for a while, but it was interesting seeing he got dropped.
Bozza was talking up. We're getting into rumour chat now, which we might as well. But
Just before we get there,
sorry, Ben. Go ahead.
potentially another dog act
Oh,
this
okay.
week.
Have you written one?
I just noticed last week there was a lot of talk about fantasy.
Oh, that
the
wasn't on
women's?
the
Yeah,
agenda.
we're
for
not
tonight.
talking about it this week though because Sam soundly kicked my ass
Yes.
in this
Didn't know
round.
that.
So
Excellent.
We had a lot
Two
of
losses
time
on the
last
board
week
for
to talk
me.
about a lot of fantasy, and we might have forgotten to just finish things off for the season for what happened in the men's comp.
right.
No, we're not.
What did
I
happen?
don't know what
Let's move
happened.
on.
I
No,
lost
that's
interest
very-
after I got
It's all
unceremoniously
very
booted out.
boring, I would have thought.
So
I was still wanting to play, and I was.
What have we got?
Yeah.
The-
Adelaide's rocking.
the
Yeah.
comeback story of the season.
Oh, comebacks.
At one point, close to finals,
Just if
still
you're going to
sitting
do
at
this,
11.
get on with it.
I would be a lot quicker if I didn't get interrupted, Sam.
If I remember correctly, you interrupted me mid-sentence.
So it was me, collective mids, and I was lucky enough to get the victory.
What?
Won the whole league.
How
I
did I not hear this?
put it in the chat,
When?
pretty much.
The chat. Which chat?
Well, the only chat I'm involved with you.
Oh, don't tell
So
me.
pretty much at the end of that round, I said, back to back, here we crow fantasy premier.
Yeah, you got absolutely nothing from
I
us.
think.
I don't remember. I genuinely don't remember
I'm
seeing
pretty
it.
sure Dan. I'm pretty sure Dan was. Well, one person responded with a. One, I don't know what the emojis all mean, but it's the one where the mouth slightly open is in wow. So
Could you explain to Dan and Lauren how you explained the GWS meme to me today?
well, something that I thought was new that wasn't quite so new. The fact that all the dancing to the GWS song,
The big beat sound.
yeah. So
You know that
It's
drunk
like-
guy in the club and the reporter says something to him and then he just walks away and dances.
No.
You know that meme? You've seen it 100 times.
I'm less of a person than Ben at this point.
She does the hands thing. You've seen it, surely.
No.
If I showed you, you've 100% seen it.
it is very humorous, all the
Yeah.
GWS to the big sound. But yeah.
All right, I'm almost going as far to say that GWS are close to my second team at the moment.
Well,
Yeah, well, they
friend
are
of the pod,
but-
Alex Williams, has made us all GWS.
Yeah, I think so
fans.
too. I like that they just seem to have fun, and it might be Alex doing it, but it's and I mean, I genuinely liked watching them beat St Kilda on the weekend. They were good to watch.
But getting back to the point at hand, I goddamn won that thing.
Woo,
It was a
well
struggle
done,
getting
Ben.
to
Well
it.
done, Ben.
So,
Yeah, Sam
all right,
doesn't
well,
care.
this is basically now just
You're
pointed
not-
at Sam now. So
You're not allowed to win the AFLW one though. That's
he's
the rule.
taking it far too seriously, you
I'm
can tell.
gonna give it a go at what Dan does every week.
What's
This
that?
guy. You would have seen this a million times.
Well, this is Champagne Pod right now. Sam's showing us a video.
I literally have not seen that a million times.
Hang on, what, Ben?
Never seen it in my life.
She says something to him and then he just weirdly stares at the camera, walks away and dances. You've not seen this?
We'll share it on our socials.
Don't worry about what's
I
written
can't
on
believe
there.
you're making me watch this live while we're recording.
Ben, can you
Oh,
keep
hang
this
on.
show rolling? What were you going to
I'm
say?
trying. So What I was going to do is I just need one thing from Sam, which is the Dog Act music, and I'm going to give it a go.
Oh, yes. Wait, go, Sam.
What? I fear for how this will work out, but I'm going to give it a go.
I forgot it was a dog act.
Really?
If you power up from 11th and go all the way to win it, and your pod just gives you crickets. Dog Act.
Wow, that timing.
We've been waiting 71 episodes for that.
How good.
71 eps.
You know, there's a
We didn't
rhythm.
even have to
There's
slow
a
the
bit of a
music down.
timing that goes with it.
And I will
Well,
say that
well,
Ben hid this.
I'm finding it now, yes.
None of us knew this was happening
That's
legitimately.
amazing.
Yeah, brilliant.
Ben's now got a bit of a newfound respect for Lauren and I.
I can't believe you kept showing me that video while Ben was doing that.
No, well done, Ben.
Thank you. Who would have thought I wouldn't keep up with the music?
Good
done.
work on the dog act.
Fantastic. That's
and
going in the
winning-
highlight reel at the end of the year.
Definitely.
Winning the fantasy as well. Yeah, but like Lauren said, no, you can't win the women's one. We need to be giving. You need to have a crack this time.
And to think we were giving him shit for doing work. He's done so much prep this episode.
Yeah, well done. Ben.
Wow-wee.
That's what he was actually doing at the start, wasn't it?
He's pretending it was work.
Yeah,
I mean, it was work. He's working hard at that dog act.
Yeah. And this year, so far, we're 5th, 6th and 7th in our comp at the moment.
Well done to us.
So
Oh,
Out of 7,
that's pretty good.
out of 20
5th, 6th, and 7th. Hang on, there's 4 of us.
and 17th.
Who's that?
Lauren.
Sorry,
I'm
Lauren.
still down the bottom. I haven't had a win yet. Fuck you. Oh. Also, just on that, our friend of the pod, Alex Williams, the
he's top.
orange.
I can't say that. He's offered us tickets.
Nah,
Or
but
members.
he's a good.
Members pass.
Orange. Where's that text sound?
Yeah, I might have to get the text sound out.
Yeah. But back to rumours. I can't remember who I was talking about now. There was another player that was rumoured. Oh, yeah. So Bozza has been talking up Brennan Cox for a long time from Freo, but I just can't see his name being thrown up anywhere. So I don't see that happening. What I do hope is that we do have a crack at Brandon Zerk-Thatcher from Essendon, who is heavily rumoured to be going to Port. I don't know why you'd go to Port when you could go to the Crows, but, you know. Each to their own, but surely we're at least having a word to him.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
There's nicer players at the Crows. I don't know if that works well for us or not, but they seem less peppery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone else? Rumours?
There's not much. Well, let's be honest. The finals are still going, so it's not really
Not for us
peak.
then.
It's not really peak time.
No.
I thought we would have heard a little bit more from exit interviews, a few more rumours popping out about players that might be leaving, but we haven't really heard
No
much at all.
delistings yet. We're normally pretty late on the delistings, though. Crows. Real late. It's like we'll hold on to them, like to see if they'll actually have any value. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
It's going to be interesting.
Let's announce our Huey Crow Best and Fairest winners and our Tyson Edwards Quite a 2 Award winner for the year, shall we?
I assume Ben's ready with those.
Shortly.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for, Ben.
floating
Okay.
up Excel.
Yeah. We'll get there. So I'll do the top 5 for both.
Yep.
And I'll go from 5th upwards.
Is this the Tyson Edwards we're doing now, or what are you doing?
It's up to you. Choose your own adventure.
Let's we'll go to the Tyson Edwards first. Let's hear who the
Okay.
Quite Achiever
Yep.
is for the year.
So in 5th place, Miller.
Oh,
Came in.
Wayno.
Yeah,
Snuck up.
just edged out Sloaney by 1 vote to get into 5th. He was on 6 votes. Luke Pedler came 4th on 9.
Oh,
Pedler.
We had
That's
a-
surprising.
We had a tie for 2nd or 3rd, depending on which way you look at it, with Chase Jones and Michael Annie.
whoa. Who has won this?
Well, a real bolter at the end of the season is one Mitch Hinge.
Whoa.
Angie, friend of the pod. Let's give him a ring. Nah, just kidding. Congratulations, Mitch.
I saw his brother at the pub the other day.
Oh,
We
did
could
you?
imagine if we did genuinely ring him just like out of the blue, and he's like, "Who's this?" That's the
I'll
end.
send him a
And
message.
then we never get a player ever again. And just before we go into player votes, we actually Quirky gave us a potential name for the for our player.
Oh,
of the
yeah, I
year.
did see that. What was it
A
again?
Matthew Liptak Overachiever Award.
I don't mind it.
I actually don't mind it. Yeah.
Well, lip tack. I don't know if this is in reference to the Best and Fairest lip tack one, because he did win one in like '96.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have. Well, he went on to be a doctor, didn't he? Is that
Yeah.
what? I
Yeah.
think that's the
That's
overachieving
Liptak.
aspect.
Which
Liptak,
part's
the good
overachieving?
doctor.
Sorry?
Liptak, the good doctor.
I don't know
He's
if he's
actually a
over-
surgeon.
Surgeon.
I don't think he's
Yeah.
overachieving at that though, because he's qualified.
No, but he's overachieving at life.
Yeah.
So I
Anyway,
don't mind
Ben,
it. So who's the inaugural
give us the,
Matthew Liptak Overachiever Award?
All right. So,
Overachiever.
so coming in 5th was Rankin, Isaac Rankin.
Oh.
Again, just one vote ahead of Miller. Almost got the double top
Oh.
fives.
Wow.
But 4th was Mitch Hinge. So
wow.
There you go.
So-
All right. Pretty good.
that's pretty
Good
impressive effort.
season.
Coming in 3rd was Laird on 54.
Lele.
2nd was Tex Walker on
Oh.
64.
I think we all know who the winner is.
Yep. So
Absolutely.
As-
Congratulations
before
to
we-
Darcy Fogarty.
as Dan predicted, we got Matt Crouch.
Before we play this, can you get the song ready? Yeah. And who is the winner, Ben?
Well, if the music hasn't given it away, our captain, my captain, your captain, one young Geordie Dawson.
Well done, Johnny.
It was pretty tight. Tex on 64, Dawson on 101.
Wow.
Yeah. And to think that he had a quiet second half of the year. So
Yeah,
imagine
no.
if he'd kept going.
Everyone else did catch him up a little bit. In that
I
second
honestly
half.
thought it would be closer than that because
Yeah.
we kind of did drop off giving him votes there for a while. Well, that's fantastic. Thanks for counting all that up
well
this
done,
year,
Ben.
Ben.
And for anyone who's following my putting $5 on Geordie Dawson to win the Brownlow, he is now shortened to $1.97 cash out. So
I thought you were going to say the odds. No, just the cash out.
not looking too good.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Out of bounds on the full.
Oh, I didn't put anything on Instagram.
Oh no.
Sorry, everyone.
Dog act.
Oh shit.
That's bad of me.
Well, look,
We did get a bit on Twitter, though.
a little bit.
I
Bozza
mean, X.
Bozza is trumpeting the big sound this week. Vardy in the bin. Rochi being the one to deliver the Shane news and the smugness with which he did so. And the difference in the approach to reporting from the media. McAdam quits while Ratugolia. Is that how you say it? No, that is not it. I'm trying to get
Ratugolia.
Can you please get that?
I quit this fucking podcast.
Do we need to do another little button?
Yes.
Ratugoli.
Yeo.
Is that Niam?
It's Yeo. Elliot Yeo. That was
To be fair, she wasn't far off this
Wait,
one.
I'm very smart, but I just can't read.
Lauren.
I can't pronounce things.
Lauren has told us numerous times she doesn't care about any other team.
No,
but the
that's true.
Crows. So
Yeah.
Ratugolia.
Yeah,
Ratugolia.
Do you think I listen to the commentators? They're all fuckheads.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah.
Anyway, he asked to be transferred elsewhere. That was the point.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
Vardy, that
hope
he's dug up.
Ratugolia goes to Port because they're going to pay him too much and it'll be funny.
Yeah. He's not like missing piece FC.
Yeah, I reckon.
Port, they're going to just plug a few more gaps and see if how they go again.
He looks handy, but they're going to pay him too much, and I think that's good for us.
I just love like
Ratugolia.
just these guys they try to recycle. Like they're not getting high caliber. I mean, unless they get Zerk Thatcher, who's like on the cusp of going somewhere. But the other two, like
Yeah.
Grundy and Ratugolia, they are.
Don't you wish that was his name now?
Yeah, I do actually.
To be fair, they did pretty well out of Alir.
Yeah, I don't know. He hasn't been as good this year.
I would have taken him if we could have got him.
Yeah, true.
Certainly now.
But what about Finlayson?
He's had his
What about-
moments.
What about Jack Watts and
Mm-hmm.
who else they get the other year? Stephen Motlop, Flop Flop, It's
Your
been one.
Essendon player, what was it?
Orazio,
Orazio?
Tissue Legs,
Fantasia?
Tissue Legs Fantasia. What was it? Pins.
Paper pins.
Paper
Thank you.
pins.
Anyway, Boise says, we'll miss the macadam highlights.
Macadam.
Lauren's doing bits now.
Wow. Oh, macadam. Up in macadam.
Oh, it's good.
Lauren's blown a funny fuse now.
Oh, I've got to show you something after this.
Gallant and Cook can easily replace him up forward.
At least you call him
Pontegol,
Gallant, not like Sam Gallant. Sorry.
What?
Gallant.
I say Gollant. What's wrong with that?
That's not his name.
I don't care.
Pontegol was bloody magnificent. Girls Yellow Clash Guernsey looks slick.
Yeah, I like the yellow
Truth.
one. That's great. Yeah.
G40 runs needed says that AFLW goal, just a reminder, and any exit meeting goss, everything else just makes me cranky, which I'm not proud of.
Yeah, that's fair.
Honestly, like watching the footy this week, and I only caught the Port and Brisbane game, but I'm just like, I just don't really care, hey. I'm really like, normally I don't mind watching the finals and I get into it, but this year I'm just like, like, it doesn't mean anything because it's just a farce.
Yeah.
It is.
But sucked in Sydney.
what about
Don't you hate those score reviews?
Yeah, I was going to say, it was pretty funny. Horse getting asked straight after the game
Yeah.
about the score review system. He's like, at least he did admit that one went their way before he answered the question, but still, yeah, pretty funny.
How about Simon Goodwin having a bit of a cry? About
Oh, he's become a bit insufferable, I reckon, because he had a crack at the Hawks tagger a few weeks ago,
Yeah, he did.
and then it was basic. Thought that there was nothing in the Van Royen elbow, which I don't know, you could probably argue is in some ways a lot worse, but anyway,
just go elbowing people.
yeah, that's right. To be fair,
Wasn't-
we didn't actually talk about the Maynard thing, did we?
No, well, that was the thing they was accused of sooking most about, wasn't it, Maynard?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the sort of the obvious one. Was him basically. Well,
That's a
what is-
warranted sook,
Yeah.
a little bit.
So we all think he needs to spend weeks on the sideline.
Well, look, I just don't like him because he's a fuckhead. Like, he makes that really clear.
Yeah.
I definitely, I mean, when it happened, I thought, oh, that's pretty nasty. But when you're looking at it on the replay from the angle of like Brayshaw looking at like that way, it looked like he couldn't really help what he was doing. But then when you look at the other side angle, he was quite the way away from Brayshaw. So, like I said to you earlier, he should have just army rolled out of that shit. That would have been way more cool.
Yeah.
There's lots of arguments for it, and like the big voices on social media and that seem to be arguing for him to get off. But yeah, I don't know. Like it doesn't seem
the
like
argument is I'm in the air. How can I possibly change my trajectory because I'm in the air? Try jumping at a wall, see if you can change what you're doing.
But like when
Why
you jump
are you jumping
at
forward?
But
if you jump forward with your arms in the air, what makes you then
Yeah.
put your arms down and put your shoulder forward? Like
his technique to smother was why he got into the position he was. So I think it's fair enough to say that the way he jumped up and forwards at the player qualifies as being relatively reckless. And,
Isn't that him moving off the mark really anyway?
and if you do something reckless like that and you concuss somebody, it's probably going to have a consequence.
What I do wonder as well with that is, and it's a really good point you bring up, Ben, like why would you just launch yourself forward at a player? Like even if he didn't go down into like the position he did that caught him with the shoulder, he still would have run into him and probably knocked both of the players out through stupidity.
Yeah. Oh, well, there was only, if they're saying there's nothing you can do once you're in the air, well, he's made this decision to jump at him then.
Yeah.
And there's nothing he could do once he's made that decision.
He didn't have to jump at him. He could have stopped and
or
jumped
he
in
could
the
have tried to jump up as
Yeah.
opposed
No,
to jump
exactly.
forward.
That's what I mean.
So,
yeah. Stop and jump up instead of forward. And there's also been people like sort of going the victim, like Brayshaw actually was concussed before that, which is why he didn't try to move at the last minute. I'm like, he was literally running forward and kicking the ball. Like, what's he meant to do?
Yeah, no, I don't think there's a lot of validity on victim blaming. I think he just got charged into.
Yeah.
On the night, I thought it was fine, but afterwards, watching the replays and watching that other replay that's come out in the last few days, I just don't. With all the concussion stuff that we're going through at the moment, the AFL just can't afford not to suspend him, I don't think.
I don't think you'd want to encourage people to then think, yeah, well, I can just jump up and run straight into players like that. As much as people say it's all part of the game, I think you don't have to have part of the game like a smother that involves your whole body hitting the opposition.
And it's a bit of a chook lotto though, isn't it? Like he could literally get off at the tribunal, even though they always do that whole thing. Like now that he's been sent to the tribunal, it's a minimum of 3 weeks. But we've seen players get off at the tribunal.
Well, there's a lot of media pressure for him to get off now.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure the AFL's a very strong organisation and wouldn't listen to that though.
All right, let me get through this because I'm having a hay fever attack. Andrew Bennett said, not sure I've ever seen our SANFL side really try hard in a final. Time to move them to the VFL.
Good comment. And we didn't really talk about the SANFL, but that was reasonably disappointing. I think he's right. I don't really think they want to play. I don't think they want to stir up the debate of whether the Crows should be in the grand final.
Well, we're resting players who qualify to play, like Crouch and whatnot. So if we really, really wanted that flag, Crouch would be playing.
And sure, I don't really know why anyone cares anyway. Surely no one feels that strongly about our SANFL side.
Nope.
No. Well, I know we don't. I'm sure people do, but it's kind of a bit weird. They're a bit soulless, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I agree. I see the point in having them. What they should probably just not even play finals. I see the point in them being a reserves team for us. But once we're out of contention for the finals, what's the point?
Yeah, it's much better us having a team where we can still they play to our game plan and structures and having that competition. But probably. Maybe SANFL, we've outgrown that. And really the AFL just needs to have a reserves comp.
Yeah, which is happening. It's just...
Yeah, well, they got the VFL, which is all of Australia except for Waffle and SANFL.
Yeah, well, they've already all joined together, haven't they? So that VFL's just...
Waffle
that's a crazy league now.
Yeah, as they're known.
It's the mega VFL.
Yeah.
That would get under the radar.
All right, last one, or maybe not the last one. I've got more notifications here. Insert name here, Millie. Not wanting Port to win any more games this final series, so I don't have to hear Kane Corns around about it for the next year. Is that a take? It's all I've got till our season starts back again next year. Well, Millie, get on to the women's. And also, that was Port talk. What else have we got?
We are just death riding Port.
Nothing.
Through.
Yeah, I can't wait. How good would it be if they go out in straight sets?
Go orange. Go orange.
Lauren's really struggling.
Yeah, I'm dying over here. I was laughing and now I'm actually having an allergic reaction to something in this room.
Just can't
cut
handle that hard solo.
No, clearly I can't. Maybe it's the booze in here is setting me off.
I've already
That
got a
does
headache
happen
from the hard
sometimes.
solo.
Anyway, what else? Anything else?
No, well,
No,
I forgot
that's
to put it on. Jaden did message us today. The main takeaway he had was Saints are going to go hard at the draft. So whether there was anyone at St Kilda that Ross the boss is probably likely to discard that we might be keen on, and asked us who if there was anyone. But
people have posted about Jade Gresham. I'm not interested in him.
I feel like we've got Jade Greshams.
Yeah, a few.
Yeah,
isn't he like a Lockie Murphy?
I think Essendon are rumoured to be going for Gresham.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk to Dino about that.
I think the player we want, they'd never give up.
That's what I said to him.
Yeah, Miller or Wanganeen.
Oh, he's good, isn't he?
Yeah.
Imagine Miller and Miller or Wanganeen. Wanganeen Miller.
What about that young whippersnapper Brad Crouch? Wonder if he'd be keen to
come back.
Oh, it'll be a fairy tale story. Play with his brother.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You get old Philippou back.
Oh,
I doubt it. come back to an actual big club.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't think Saints would want to give up anyone that we'd want, because we'd want a midfielder. We'd want a ready-made midfielder, and they're not going to give up any of their quality mids. So, yeah, I don't know. They've got some good players, but they're just why would they give them up?
yeah.
I don't think there's any of the good ones that are on the outer. But it does sound like Ross is going to cull a few favourites.
It seems pretty unlikely we're going to be in the mix for any serious mids again. So it'll just be in-house development.
Yep.
But we've got another big game in the AFLW this Saturday against the Bombers at home, the Unley Oval, I believe. What's the vibe on this one, Ben? What have you got?
Yep. So
You said you had stats.
I did. It's just the chance that I didn't have that document open. So they have so far beaten St Kilda and Hawthorn. Neither of those teams were great last year. Hawthorn did beat Bulldogs, but Bulldogs look pretty bad this year as well. So yet to be really tested, the Dons. Having said that, though, the way they beat, to an extent, Hawthorn, but particularly St Kilda, looked a lot how we beat Richmond. So they had a lot more uncontested ball than St Kilda, and they had a better disposal efficiency, and they almost doubled them for marks. So almost exactly how we beat Richmond. So it's sort of, we need to make sure they don't have the time and space to be able to use the ball as cleanly as they have the first two games. They've got a player that Sam was just loving before, Bonnie Toogood.
They've also got a press Packers, don't they?
Yep, sure. But yeah, Toogood anyway is leading the league for marks at the moment, so she'll be one we'll need to hold fairly tightly. So maybe that'll be a Bedell job to keep
Chelbo,
her.
Absolutely no match for Chelbo.
Nah.
Well, hopefully not. So I think as long as we can not let them play how we've been playing and keep the pressure on them, we should be too good, I think.
Yes, good joke.
That's going to be the name of the pod.
That
Too
was-
good for too good.
Yep, that one was unintentional.
Question
But so I've got us winning by 29 at home, but I don't know, maybe they're better than I think they are, but at this stage I think we should have the chocolates.
So we won by 29 last week as well. That's interesting.
Cody Jakes is out too. She got suspended.
Who's
Did
that?
you put that in your things?
I don't know who that person is.
Yeah.
So
Also, Jess Waterhouse got fined for rough conduct. Did you
come
know
on
that?
now.
Oh, I forgot
$400,
Jess.
$250 with an early plea. So
Worth it.
Might have to hand the cap around. We got that much in the Here We Crow account.
No.
You're the treasurer. You tell us.
I might have to look for another podcast for that sort of.
Has
those
anyone
sort of
else
dollars.
been putting their weekly donation in, or is
I
that
have.
just
we
me?
all have. Yeah,
Mine's
no.
automatic.
Yeah,
I keep every week. I'm like,
Do you hear
what's
that, listeners? We're donating our own money to this podcast. It is bullshit. Buy some merch.
Speaking of merch, Sam.
Yes.
How'd you go with making the women's merch?
Yeah. Yep. My idea didn't work that I tried on the weekend. So, yeah, sorry, team.
That's
Failed
right.
there.
no.
I've had very
Everybody, it
little
will
time.
be coming hopefully before the end of the season. But we've got some ideas and we'd like to get you onto some women's merch. So but
We need Dan to do a design.
I'd be
I
hopeless
don't
at
have
it.
any time.
I'll
I
just
don't
get
have time.
Violet to do it.
Yeah. do I?
As a segue out of that, who do you think will win by how much, Sam?
We'll beat them 27 points.
Lauren?
Crows by 35.
Yeah, I'm going to go Crows by 15 points. I think it'll be a little bit tighter than you guys think, but we'll wait and see.
Ben's looking up the nearest KFC on his phone.
Is he?
Yeah.
We're not done yet, Ben.
Seeing a stack of it, Ben.
So
I was just seeing if there was any shops open at the end, but no, they're all closed. You guys are waffled a bit long.
stay tuned for the AFLW merch. But in the meantime, we have been Here We Crow. This is episode 71. Thanks for tuning in. Go the Crows.
What's Ben's outro song?
What was it, Ben?
So another one of Dan's favourites.
Is it Elbow or?
No, it is another Gomez for you.
That's what I meant when I said
but
Elbow.
named my women's fantasy team after hers as the Ponters Pingers. And so this is Gomez, ping one down, and boy did she ping one down.
Well done.
Thanks.
Let the sunshine in.